around the year 2010. I had made this website to try out HTML5 and the new features, and it was question reality films. And at the time in 2010, just 9 years ago, the world was a lot different. I couldn't. Now everybody's searching for this kind of stuff. Back then, I hope I was one of the ones that brought it to awareness. Like, hey, there's a message in the movies. There's some cool ideas out there. So I had made this site, but I haven't updated it really since, I don't know, like 2014, because it's a pain to update. I don't even remember my login to this website that hosts this anymore. So I discovered that through Amazon, they changed up the A store. Now that's called Amazon Affiliates. And I'm able to create these like storefronts. And I thought, oh, this is so much easier to edit and keep up to date and beneficial, being that it's like an affiliate thing. So I created two new, they're called idea lists. One's on question reality films and the other is on flat earth films, which kind of intersect. But let's just take a look at this, because I want this to be like a group list. And if anything, I'm not saying you guys got to purchase, who even buys anything anymore, but you could always go to this list to, if you're having a night where you're like, hey man, I want to do a movie night, but I don't know what I want to watch. That's like a lot of my friends are like, hey man, can you send me that link to that website? I want to watch a movie tonight. I want to just see all that list that you curated to see if there's anything that looks interesting to me that I hadn't already seen. So that's what this is. So we'll start off with the question reality films, and I'm presenting this to you so that if you see anything that you feel should be on the list, let me know about it and I'll throw it in there. But, put a reason why. So, and this is a cool little exercise to go through anyway. And plus, I don't remember if I did a video on that old website, but might as well go through it now. So let's see what we have. We have the Matrix trilogy. There's no argument needed there. Everybody realizes that's like the film that started the whole thing. The 13th Floor. I think this is like one of the least talked about question reality films that came out the same year as The Matrix. Then you have In Time. I feel like In Time is a great allegory for the Federal Reserve System, inflation, and the basket of goods. Then you have They Live. Obviously, They Live is actually like The Matrix before The Matrix. And I saw a movie today. It's like a short film. It was called Corporate Monster. It's kind of like They Live. It's a short film, though. Truman Show. Truman Show, in ways, now that I'm older, I feel like Truman Show does more than The Matrix does, because The Matrix still appears sci-fi, whereas Truman Show is like real life. And so I feel now, 20 years later, this one is more impactful than The Matrix blew our minds, right? But I don't know if Truman Show is celebrated as, in flat earth communities, Truman Show is like the number one. But in question reality films, I'm starting to lean more towards The Truman Show. Now, speaking of Truman Show, I would have Virtual Nightmare on this list, but there is no Virtual Nightmare VHS or DVD or Blu-ray to buy, which is a shame. I can't believe those people aren't trying to capitalize and profit off of that movie. They should have that streaming. They made a really good movie and they're not making money on it. We got Westworld. Much like Truman Show, the Westworld series, in ways, is just as hard-hitting as The Matrix, if not harder-hitting. If anybody disagrees with that, I'd like to hear, and with the preface that I don't think it's about robots, I think it's about us. Jupiter Ascending. This is by the makers of The Matrix, the Wachowskis. And I think this is a really slept-on film. There's so much going on in that movie. Suppressed technology, false histories, harvesting humans. It's definitely Mila Kunis's character is like learning about this additional world that exists out there that's not for us. Wayward Pines. A commenter on this channel brought this one to my attention. Wayward Pines is such a question reality and flat earth film, series all packed into one. Highly recommended. Wayward Pines. If anything, check out episode 5. Vanilla Sky. Back before we had all these movies to choose from, when we only had The Matrix, we had Vanilla Sky. And this was, amongst my friends, we really consider this like a Matrix-esque film. Not the first hour and a half, but everything that takes place after the last hour or so. Which most people don't realize that Vanilla Sky is a remake of Abre Los Ojos, Open Your Eyes, also starring Penelope Cruz. I've seen it. It's okay. It's not as... I'd rather watch Vanilla Sky. Then you have The Game. The Game is about... It's funny how long ago... The Game came out before The Matrix. And it's about alternate reality gaming before I believed alternate reality gaming existed. However, when you watch this movie, you wonder, how long has ARG been going on? And are we just living, not in the Matrix thing, but are we living in somebody's ARG? What I mean is, a bunch of wealthy and rich people and celebrities, that they may be playing an ARG on all of us. If you see the movie, you know what I mean. And if you think of like that game Ingress that came out, like, I guess it's been like 8 years ago now. Alternate reality games are all around us, and we don't know who's acting and who's not. What the bleep do we know? And what the bleep down the rabbit hole? This one at the time, it doesn't really stand the test of time now, because it's been ripped off so many times. But at the time period, What the Bleep, when that came out, that started like a whole new genre of movie making. And the concepts of quantum theory were pretty astonishing at the time. Like I said, I don't think it stands the test of time to this day, but this was groundbreaking, mind-blowing when it first came out. Dark City. Man, I can't believe Dark City is this low on the list. This used to be like in my top 5. But yeah, Dark City, Shell Beach. It's got the flat earth thing at the end. So nobody knows what to say about Dark City other than like, yeah, man, this is a movie just like The Matrix. Pleasantville. I got to put that on the flat earth one. Pleasantville is... It's a question reality film. The scene, if you're like, well, what are you talking about? There's a scene in Pleasantville where Spider-Man is teaching the class about streets, and their map only has like the street from their TV show, and they don't realize there's a whole world outside of it. You know, I probably should put The Village on this list. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I've only seen this movie once. I probably need to see it again. I wonder if this actually... I got to see it again. You guys let me know if you've seen this recently. I saw it when it first came out. Does Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind belong on this list? The Giver. Hey, have you seen The Giver? The Giver, man. If you haven't seen The Giver, you got to see it. It's a short film. It's only like 88 minutes long. But it is... The reason why I haven't done an episode talking about The Giver, like breaking it down, is because the whole movie, like I said, it's only 88 minutes. They don't waste any time. The whole film, front to back, is a question reality film through and throughout. If you haven't seen it, you want to see this movie. It's spectacular. It's also a flat earth film. Inception. You know, I only seen Inception in theaters when it came out. I never saw it again. You know, it was a big deal when it came out. People still say like, yo, man, that's like 3 levels deep Inception. I have this on here because it's really for the people, and I think it's a movie that comes to everybody's mind when you think of question reality films. Whether or not it really does question reality is up to you, but I think it belongs on the list. Ready Player One. I haven't seen Ready Player One, but anytime I talk to new people about simulation theory, about questioning reality, where they don't really know my whole philosophy, they're like, oh, like in the movie Ready Player One. So I got to see Ready Player One. It's been multiple people, at least, I don't know, 4 people. When I've described simulation, the first thing they think of is Ready Player One. So I felt like, all right, let me put that on this list. Ghost in the Shell. Now, the reason why Ghost in the Shell is on this list is for a different reason. There is a group of people that believe that The Matrix isn't what most of us think The Matrix is. They believe that The Matrix is actually a movie about straw man redemption, reclaiming your straw man, your corporate self. And that's why Neo goes by, Mr. Anderson and Neo. Neo is his flesh and blood name. Mr. Anderson is his corporate name. And the agents are trying to capture him. So if you look at it that The Matrix is about straw man redemption, then you would also identify Ghost in the Shell as being the same. That's why it's similarly when The Matrix came out, everyone said like, oh yeah, the animation version of Ghost in the Shell, it's just like The Matrix. Now, if you look at the title, Ghost in the Shell, that definitely implies straw man redemption if you know about it. So you have the ghost, that's your spirit, and the shell is your shell corporation, the body, the corporate self. And in the film, even if you think that's a stretch, in the film, there's at least one scene, if not two scenes, where she says, "I do not consent. I do not consent. I do not consent." And if you're into the strawman theory, you'll get it. Especially if you watch Richie from Boston. He's always talking about, "I do not consent." Fight Club. I think everybody agrees Fight Club's right up, like, at the time. It may not stand the test of time now, but Fight Club at the time period was certain. I should probably put Mr. Robot on this list. Because, yeah, Mr. Robot's made everybody forget about Fight Club. So that's the original question reality films list. And you know what? I'm going to stop that here. I'll do a separate one for the Flat Earth, and I'll do it on my Flat Earth channel. But let's take a look at what we have on this original chart that I made back in 2010. You tell me what's on this list that's not on the new list, because I think some of these don't belong on the new list anymore, but if you think they do, let me know. So right off the bat, we can see the Animatrix is not on there. Collection of the Matrix is no longer necessary as it was back then, because now there's so much other content that is just as good as the Matrix. So you have Existence. I mean, I suppose that belongs there. What Dreams May Come, The Island, Gattaca, The Forgotten. Like, I feel like The Forgotten's more of like really, actually, The Forgotten in ways is, because they don't realize they're being controlled by aliens. Gattaca, I don't think Gattaca belongs. I mean, Gattaca's a cool film, but, Primer, that's about time travel. Did you ever see Primer? What's interesting about Primer to me is, it was made on a $7,000 budget. When I watched it, everybody who I was with, they all blacked out. I was like sweating. The movie had me sweating. Like, I was literally sitting on my hands and sweating because it seemed so plausible. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the most realistic time travel film I've ever seen. And the guy that wrote it's brilliant. And I was just thinking of, oh man, I really enjoy my memory of sweating and sitting on my hands watching Primer. All right, I Heart Huckabees. How is that even on this list? I think at the time it was right out there. See, we got that Eternal Sunshine, Memento, Pi, 12 Monkeys, Donnie Darko. I mean, I guess I incorporated some time travel stuff into here. Southland Tales. Southland Tales is like one of my it's in my top 10 favorite films of all time. The Box, it's made by the same guy that made Southland Tales and Donnie Darko. AI, Blade Runner, Pink Floyd, The Wall, Tron Legacy, The Cell, Butterfly Effect, K-Pax, Lunopolis, Cypher. I don't think I've seen Cypher. Knowing, and Next, like Nicolas Cage, man. Total Recall, 2001 Space Odyssey, Sim 1. I'm surprised Simone is not more popular. It was never popular, and it's really relevant today with the discussion of deep fakes. So if you haven't seen Sim 1, take a look at that. Now, it's based on, in my opinion, it's based on the life of Ray Kurzweil. I feel that Al Pacino is portraying Ray Kurzweil, and Simone is Ramona in real life. So in real life, there's a man named Ray Kurzweil. He invented the synthesizer for music, vision for Stevie Wonder, hearing for the deaf, aspects of virtual reality, and he had a VR AI bot back in like 2002 and it was way better than Siri is in present day. And its name was Ramona. His name was Ray, and Ramona was his digital avatar female. And what's funny too is he even said like he in his mind he's a female performer, right? So this is before the transgender movement. So he just virtually created himself into a woman. And the movie Simone. So Simone's kind of like Ramona. Sim 1. Al Pacino. Anyway, check out. I gotta rewatch Simone too, just to see what was being presented at the time of. Simone doesn't exist. She's just a digital creation that the media convinced people is a real person, and she's completely artificial. Transcendent Man, The Singularity is Near. I used to be a huge Ray Kurzweil fan until like I learned more about agendas and whatnot. Although I still believe in the hope of live long enough to live forever. Altered States, okay. The Bob Lazar, no, this Lazar tape, this movie, all right, where does that go? This film is what made me the person I am today. Like, if you remove this from my life, I'm not who I am today. This single movie threw my whole life off of track. It impacted me at an early age of 10, and I was never the same ever again. Iron Sky. So I must have updated this at some point in like 2013. Surrogates, Videodrome, the Adjustment Bureau. Yeah, I've been visited by the Adjustment Bureau more than once. The Nines, Bolt. You know, Bolt. I got to rewatch that one too. Bolt, for being like a cartoony, animated computer animation movie, it dropped a lot of knowledge in it. I haven't seen The Nines yet, by the way. It's been recommended a lot of times. I've never seen it. Bug has the greatest conspiracy theory scene of all time in the tinfoil room with Michael Shannon and Ashley Judd. Shutter Island, I've never seen that. Waking Life was interesting for the time period. I don't know if it stands the test of time today. Scanner Darkly, Eagle Eye, Enemy of the State, Minority Report, Source Code. I think I might have had these were films that were trying to like, these had the message in the movies. They weren't necessarily question reality films. So I think this was more of message in the movies. I mean, obviously this trilogy here, the Eagle Eye, Enemy of the State, Minority Report, all three of those films were like the same thing. And they were trying to tell you something, but I'm not sure if they're getting you to question reality. Although Source Code recently I saw it once, and I heard that one is kind of like a question reality film. So which of these, did I say K-Pax yet? Which of these films belongs on that question reality chart? Now, we got some runners up. We have V for Vendetta, Matchstick Men. I don't even remember what that was about. I remember seeing it, but I don't know why. The only thing I remember from that is Nicolas Cage goes, I think his daughter goes, "What are you going to tell me, Dad? That crime doesn't pay?" And he goes, No, crime does pay. Just not that much. The Usual Suspects. Everybody loved that movie, except me. Groundhog Day. Lord of Illusions. I've never seen Lord of Illusions. Jacob's Ladder. That was recommended to me this week again. I've never seen it. Pan's Labyrinth. American Psycho. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Stranger Than Fiction. I've never seen that. The Sixth Sense. I don't think I've ever seen The Sixth Sense either. And M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, which Mark Sargent talks about a lot. I'll add that to the Flat Earth page. And then I went even further with related films. So there are other films in a similar genre, but not direct hits. So we have Twin Peaks. Was Twin Peaks? There was a movie that was called like the greatest film of all time. It might have been Twin Peaks. I've never seen it though. Man from Earth. Never seen that. Brazil. I heard that Brazil is like the Matrix before the Matrix, but I've never seen that. Has anybody? Mirror Mask. I've never seen that. Big Fish. Don't know. Angel Heart. Never seen it. Lost Highway. Never seen it. Perfect Blue. Never seen it. Eraserhead. Never seen it. Ghost in the Shell. Never seen it. And The Machinist. I might have seen that one. So, of these that I said I have not seen, anybody got any insight? Do I need to see any of them? Now we have this movie list. Wow, I don't even remember making some of this stuff. ZPG, Parts the Clonus Horror, Watership Down. Watership Down, there was something big about that one. That was like a cartoon with bunny rabbits and pigs or something. The Host, Dark Skies, The Zero Theorem, Oblivion, Nazis at the Center of the Earth, X-Files, Metropia, Meeting Joe Black, The Lath of Heaven, Being John Malkovich, Run Lola Run, Mulholland Drive. No, actually, it might have been Mulholland Drive. I think that was what was called. Not Twin Peaks. Mulholland Drive, I think, was called the greatest movie of all time. I've never seen either film. Tree of Life, Rashomon, In the Mouth of Madness, Identity, Saint Elsewhere, Dead End, The Rapture, Dark Star, A Clock, Dark Star, bro. That was, man. A Clockwork Orange, that's on here twice. Brain Dead with Bill Pullman. Adaptation, The Holy Mountain, Logan's Run, Resident Evil, I Am Legend, Pulp Fiction, Zenith, Arcade, Sleep Dealer, Caprica, Looper, Fourth Kind. Oh, Cloud Atlas. That one hasn't made any of these lists. I've never seen Cloud Atlas. I've had people tell me, like, they almost pulled their hair out finding out that I've never seen Cloud Atlas. So, are you pulling your hair out right now that I haven't seen? Do I need to see Cloud Atlas? All right, so now let's just check this last one. Breakaway. So these are the films about the breakaway civilization utilizing off-world technology. There used to be something here, but it's been erased. In Time, Elysium, Jupiter Ascending, Atlas Shrugged Part 3, The Last Starfighter, and Tomorrowland. So, which of all those that we just read are deserving on being on this new 2019? It's almost 2020 now. Question Reality Films little buy chart here. So what do I have? How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24 total films. And some of those are duplicates or series. What is not on this chart? And what did I completely miss? I mean, let alone all that. Did I miss anything that wasn't on all of these? Now, if you want to see me cover the Flat Earth films, go to my Flat Earth Roundup channel, and the video will be on that site. In the comments, like I said, let me know what needs to be added. This is our list. So next time you have a movie night and you want to question your reality, you can just come to this link. Obviously, this link will be in the description in the comments. I get like 4% of the purchases. So you're not going to make me a millionaire here. I'm not like trying to sell you on this. It's a cool chart. It's nice to have reference points. Here it is. Enjoy it. And I'll see you in the next one.